Hey y'all, welcome back to SRL Solutions, Self-Reliance Through Preparation. This morning, on a very lovely misty morning, we're going to be talking about seeds. The word self-reliant living encompasses so many things, but the basic meaning of the word is just you're reliant upon yourself for your livelihood. And for everything else that you have, you're not trying to get from somebody else as much as possible. And in today's society, everything is reliant upon somebody else. But one of the things that we can do is, like you can see behind me, is have a garden. In the old days, everybody had a garden. Nowadays, nobody has gardens. In fact, neighbors get mad when you're in an HOA and you have a big garden. I started about 6 years ago to have a garden of my own and also do it organically. And that was my introduction into seeds. I used to just go down to Lowe's and Home Depot and buy the plants. The problem with going to these box stores to buy your plants is you don't know where it came from and what it's been injected into it. The two words that you're looking for when you buy seeds is organic and heirloom. Now organic, everybody nowadays knows what organic means, but then again, you don't really know what it means because it's just everybody uses that word because, hey, it's marketing. The problem nowadays is most seed companies are owned by several different companies, and that's it. All these little seed companies are all being bought up by Monsanto. Boo, Monsanto. So they're just doing so much to our food supply that you just don't know what you're eating anymore. The second term that you need to know is heirloom, which is very, very important. If it's not an heirloom seed, you cannot save the seeds from that plant, which we'll cover in another episode on how to save seeds, because every plant that you have, you can save seeds because it's nature, it's meant to propagate. Now the question is, where do you buy your seeds from, since it's hard to tell where everything is from? Well, there's several different places that you can go to that there's small companies that have their own little magazine type pamphlet thing that they'll send out to you, and you can buy the individual seeds of each individual plant and get what you want. And some are very good for the variety of plants that they have and the type of plants within each individual type of plant. Like tomatoes, they'll have 50 different types of tomatoes, and they each have a different attribute that you may be looking for. The other way to go is, which I wanted to do a test with it, is what they call survival packs. You see them on the internet on all the different prepper sites of selling seeds, and I wanted to try some out. So I did research trying to find out which ones are better out there, because the biggest thing about seeds that you want to make sure is if they're going to germinate and how many of them are going to germinate, which means when you put them in the soil, they have to germinate to start growing. And who cares if you have 10,000 seeds if only 5,000 are going to germinate and grow? I went to a company called Heirloom Organics because they're supposedly the #1 seed company out there for this type of seed, and it got really great reviews on their packaging. As you can see, they come in these little green pouches that tell you what's in them, but also within each patch. Now I've went ahead and reclosed mine up, so I don't want to open it back up. They come in little individual mylar packets inside it, and each one has seeds in it. And they have a really cool packs that I got. One is called Kitchen Herbs, which has all the different herbs that you think you would have, with mint and mustard, onions and cumin and basil, and some other ones that you haven't heard of before, so it's kind of fun to kind of try new things. The other pack I bought is Family Medicine. Now, over the last few years, I've been growing a patch down in the bottom of my garden that's kind of in a shady area, because a lot of different wild plants, medicinal plants, like part shade or actually full shade, because a lot of them are out in the woods. We're almost at the point where we're entering a post-antibiotic stage, which means our bodies aren't going to be using antibiotics. So we're going to have to go old school again, unfortunately. In medicine garden, if you know your herbs, you're going to be the new doctors. But these are very, very, very important. And you can see right here, I started planting because first of all, I wanted to see what the germination rate on this specific manufacturer is, because I saw some people kind of talking about it, but there wasn't any like clear data. So best data is to do it yourself. And I've got plants growing in all but one, so I'm not sure if they're going to come out or not. It's kind of weird for one not to happen, which is echinacea, because I put 4 to 6 seeds in each of these just in case. You don't want to just plant one seed because they don't all germinate. So you want to put several in there, and then when they start growing, you can clip a couple of them out so that you only have 1 or 2 in each pot. And then I'll take these pots and I'll transplant them in a bigger pot. Then I'll transplant them into my medicinal garden area. I also got from them a sprout sampler, which has alfalfa, buckwheat, garbanzo beans, lentils, and mung bean, which I have no idea what a mung bean is. But these are ones where you put it in a piece of tarp and you get them moist, and you keep them moist, and they keep sprouting. You've seen in the store the bean sprouts, which are just packed full of vitamins and minerals. That's why these are very good to have. I've also got, gosh, these 2 bags of peas, beans, beets, squash, corn, melon, lettuce, kale, spinach, oil, cucumber, Swiss chard, pumpkin, oats and wheat. Oats and wheat are very important to start getting seeds, because when you go down to the store and you buy that big old thing of wheat for storing up, you might be able to plant that, but you don't know if it's got heirloom in it or if it's GMO or whatever. If you buy from a place, all those wheat berries, I mean, this whole one little bag can do acres of food, and oats and wheat are going to be very important in post-apocalypse world if we get to that point. If not, if we don't have to worry about that, that's awesome. And I'm just having a lot of fun in this hobby of seeds and plants and seeing what I like and seeing what I can create. Thank you for coming and watching this episode of SRL Solutions. And please come back, and please subscribe if you haven't, but please come back and watch more episodes as we learn together. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope it was instructional. If you could click on the little red button that says subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it, and you can keep checking back in for weekly updates. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments section with whatever comments or questions you may have, and interacting with you, my fans, and get any information to you that I can that's relevant to the question. And if you also want to see something in an episode, I'll be happy to give you credit for it and also get the information together for you. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, the space station, wherever social media is next. Click on more of my videos to expand your knowledge and become more self-reliant as we learn together.